Greetings everyone! In this video I want to talk more about the energy vortexes and when you should consider removing them.
Greetings! This infinite source truth is made possible by the generous contributions and support of viewers like you. Please consider making a contribution now. Thank you.
Alright, so the last video I talked about how to find and remove energy vortexes from your home and property. Now, you should always ask your source self if it will benefit you at this time to remove the vortexes and seal them. Because one thing, you have to be at a frequency level 5 or higher to remove and seal them. In the previous video, I shared how to locate, find, and remove energy vortexes from your home or property. Now, you should always ask your source self. Always ask your source self first if it benefits you at this time to remove and seal the vortex. Now, it is beneficial for a source player to seal and remove and seal the vortexes that exist in their home. But all source players may not have a high enough frequency and a high enough synergy cell reserve for it to be beneficial for them to do it. Okay? You have to have a level 5 frequency and an unlock script, which means you have a strong source self connection to enable you to be able to remove the vortexes and seal them. Now, if you are at a level 5 and you have not advanced higher, that means there's a good chance that your synergy cell is not as full as it should be, and that will cost you more than you would benefit by removing them, which means you need to work on getting more energy in your synergy cell, boosting it up so that you have it there to expend. Now, vortexes always take energy out of source players. If you are around a vortex, it is always going to be a energy flow taken from you, regardless of where the vortex is. So it is always beneficial for them to be closed, especially in a source player's home. Now, if closing that vortex brings your synergy cell down, if you have not been aware and conscious of your energies and you have wasted them in choices that you would have done better to have saved your energies on, then your synergy cell could be in such a state that if you were to close a vortex, you could take yourself into the red zone. This is because you have to have a certain amount in your synergy cell to even advance to level 5. And if you fall short of having the minimum required, then you will use it and you will drop into the red zone. So for that source player, it would not be a wise choice for them to seal those vortexes. Continuing to allow them to take a slow drain on you is better than spending a large chunk to close those vortexes. Now, Vortexes are all different in size, and the cost that it'll cost you depends on the size and type of vortex it is. Now, it doesn't matter if it's a positive vortex or a negative vortexes. Both take energy from you. It's beneficial to seal all vortexes in your home. Now, it may benefit you to seal a vortex in your place of business, especially if it's your business, because it will affect and influence, if you're in sales, it could affect and influence your sales, it could affect and influence your workers, it could have a lot of effects. Now, the few source players that have reached a level 11 and have completed and unlocked their soul cage, not unlock their script, but unlock their soul cage at the very top, they have access to an infinite amount of energies, providing their intentions are beneficial. So, a source player that's on a frequency level 11 can make up for that energy lost very quickly and easily. And they will not feel it affect them in the same manner a lower frequency source player would. Now, I said that you could do this for anyone, and that is true, but you need to ask your source self if it is beneficial to you, okay? Anytime you do an energy output and it doesn't directly affect you, then that is not the most beneficial use for your energies. Always. You need to ask your source self if it would benefit you. Because your synergy cell affects how high you can go in this game, and it affects your empowerment. Now, wouldn't you rather use those energies to create a better experience for yourself than dealing with a vortex that someone else probably created or is a residual from whoever lived in the house before? Now, I also want to talk about the types of vortexes. If you have a building or a home that someone died in, yes, that someone passed away in, those vortexes really need to be cleared and closed. They really do. And how they died would also have an effect on the type of vortex and the comings and goings. Now, I will say that if you bought a house that someone died in and it happened to have been a suicide, that type of energy vortex can affect the people in the home, and it does need to be dealt with. Now, if you are selling a home, it is best to clear all negative energies and close all vortexes on the property for you to sell your home. It benefits you. But again, you always need to ask your source self if it will benefit you. If it will benefit you. If you are doing these things without asking your source self first, who is who you are and knows everything about you and your subconscious, if your source self knows that it would not benefit you, it would put you in a position of not having the energies that you will need for manifesting and climbing to the next frequency, then you need to be aware that you need to heed the leading and guiding of your source self. Now, vortexes are also created by grieving. If someone has been ill and there's been a grief process, or there has been a lot of grief over the loss of a loved one, or a loss of a marriage, or a loss of anything that has caused a large amount of grief, then you have vortex there also. I will tell you that grief vortexes and death vortexes take a lot of energy to clear. And so it might not be something that you can do at this time, especially if you're the one that has been doing the grieving. And yes, it benefits you, but you need to get over the grief. You need to continue on. You need to start doing the things that will help you to add to your synergy cell instead of depleting it. And that's a choice. So you really need to be asking your source self if one thing you have enough, if you're a high enough frequency and you have enough in your synergy cell, if it will cause you a problem if you were to go ahead and close and seal the vortexes. You really do. And then follow that guidance. Now, if you find the information I share in these videos beneficial to you, and you appreciate what I have done in this game, then it benefits you to give a gift via PayPal. The link is in the description box below. Abundance, health, and prosperity to you.